In the beginning of the book, you talk about the temporary ceasefire that took place with the Union Army so that a soldier could get his Master Mason's degree. Can you give a little hint or a little bit of that story?
Sure. A Union soldier was concerned he would not survive the war to become a Master Mason. Now imagine that.
Mm,
Imagine the craft having that much of a hold and that much of an impression on a young soldier that in this, in this moment, Masonry was foremost in his mind. So communicating through non-traditional methods, using Masonic signs, words, and modes of recognition that every Mason, North or South, knew,
mm-hmm.
a temporary ceasefire was agreed upon, of course, under a flag of truce, and to fulfill their obligation and raise this young soldier to the sublime degree of Master Mason. Now, most non-Masons, and I don't know how they pulled this off, but most non-Masons didn't even know these meetings or degree conferrals were happening. When Masons on opposing sides agreed to pause the fighting, it was usually done very quietly under the pretext of a flag of truce to recover wounded or bury the dead, or only a handful of officers actually knew the real reason.
Mm.
Uh,
That's the That's
yeah,
the part you hit a really good point, because that's the part that I've always questioned, where in our ritual, and we're not here to give away any of that, but we do say there's certain signs that we can show so that somebody can see it and identify us as a Mason in the dark or in, light, daylight. And I was always like, oh yeah, okay. And they're like, oh yeah, well, during the Civil War, there's a story. And then someone always tells you some story and you're like, oh, okay, well, that seems kind of believable. But you got to a really good point where you had layers upon layers. And this is what I find so interesting, is that you had people who picked up arms to go fight against their neighbors or even family members for a belief or value system that they were very strong, they held very strongly. But then at the same time, they would have on the opposition somebody who was a Masonic brother who they may or may not know and say, well, I'm going to stop fighting for a moment and go to a meeting to do a degree with somebody, and we can be brothers in Masonry and then go back to fighting. And to me, that is really hard to fathom all of that.
Yeah. And regarding this event itself, 3 words come to mind: absurdity, morality, and a duality.
Mm.
Some may describe the event as hypocritical, but I don't think hypocrisy is the right word. These men took their obligation seriously, or these brothers took their obligation seriously. Uh, the absurdity, of course, by day, our brethren fought each other fiercely and with deadly force. But under a flag of truce, they would gather and perform their Masonic duties and obligations. From a moral perspective, Masonic principles went with them onto the battlefield. As we believe in Freemasonry, one's life may be taken, but a Freemason's integrity never.
Mm.
Uh, and duality. Duality, it was a profound moral conflict. Our brethren were torn between loyalty to their uniform and loyalty to the craft. Think about that. And in those moments of humanity, the brotherhood they shared outweighed the war that divided them.